Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're having a great day and that you are all doing well. To start things off, Bitcoin and Tether are in the news yet again. The US dollar pegged Tether has been used to support Bitcoin's price during market downturns. A new study published by the University of Texas at Austin professors have stated. John Griffin and Amin Shams of the University of Texas at Austin's Department of Finance published a study on Wednesday linking the stablecoin with Bitcoin's price during the 2017 price increases. The published study states that the researchers use algorithms to analyze the blockchain data. We find that purchases with Tether are timed following market downturns, a result in sizable increase in Bitcoin prices. This produced a clear link between the printing of new Tether tokens and Bitcoin's price increases following bear runs, the study claims, stating, by mapping the blockchains of Tether and Bitcoin, we are able to establish that entities associated with the Bitfinex exchange use Tether to purchase Bitcoin when prices are falling. Such price supporting activities are successful as Bitcoin prices rise following the periods of intervention. These effects are present only after negative returns and periods following the printing of Tether. However, the two notably discovered that it does not take a large amount of Tether to prop Bitcoin's price. They said even less than 1% of extreme change of Tether for Bitcoin has substantial price effects. The algorithms the two developed were able to cluster groups of related Bitcoin wallets, according to the study. This allowed the researchers to map how Tether was distributed and how it impacted Bitcoin prices. The study explains that Tether is created, moved to Bitfinex, and then slowly moved out to other crypto exchanges, mainly Poloniex and Bittrex. It continues on to note that generally, the token is not redeemed by the issuer, and the major exchanges where Tether can be exchanged for US dollars, Kraken, accounts only for a small proportion of transactions. The study focuses primarily on the supply-based explanation for the link, but the researchers also noted that the demand for Bitcoin can create a similar demand for Tether, particularly by investors who cannot move large sums of money into cryptocurrency directly. This was actually spoken about last November, and I'm pretty sure I made a video on it back then, not sure the exact date. A lot of people screamed and said that I was spreading FUD. There are a lot of other YouTubers who have created like very detailed videos of this. You can find charts for it as well. I found one of the like many ones that are out there. So you can see blue is Tether, orange is Bitcoin. Whenever the Tether starts going up, especially as Bitcoin is going down, we see an increase in the price as the hype of new Tether that's being printed and is then buying this Bitcoin when the price is down. You see this clear uptrend, but as the amount of Tether remains the same, eventually the hype for Bitcoin and the Bitcoin price rise that we see right here begins to falter. So what ends up happening as the price of Bitcoin is going down, they create more Tether and then the price of Bitcoin starts going back up. This is a huge problem. I don't care if you call it FUD. A lot of people keep saying things that I say in my video. I don't do this to waste my time. Like, I have no ulterior motives. I also have money in all of this. I want to make money as well. The issue is that now there are, I believe, 2.5 billion Tether that have been printed. And there are subpoenas and there are other companies looking into them. I think the US government is also looking into them. If it turns out, this is not to scare you, but if it turns out that they do not have actually $2.5 billion in their possession to prop up the price of Tether, and they've just been printing Tether at will because they wanted to prop up the price of Bitcoin, this is going to be detrimental for the price of Bitcoin and in effect the entire market. This is why I also believe that over the last couple of weeks, like I said, we have about 8 other stable coins that plan on being released. I think what is happening is one of two things. They're either looking to do the exact same thing that Tether did, i.e. prop up the price of Bitcoin, or they're looking to try and get people to move away from Tether, and that they're trying to, because we have a lot of like major companies. It's not, crypto exchanges that are creating these. There's actually major companies who are in finance who have announced that they want to create their own stablecoin. So it looks like they could be trying to have like a legitimate space that can be audited. so that we know exactly what's going on with the coin. And, this can then still be in turn, used to buy Bitcoin, but at least we will see that they have the money to back it up, because as of now, when you print billions of dollars, eventually governments will start wondering where you're getting this money from. I'm trying not to, but no, I have to be realistic. I can't keep being afraid of like telling you guys things. If this is all true, as many people have been searching this information since last November of 2017, it means the entire price of Bitcoin is false and faked. Between Tether, between exchanges passing thousands of Bitcoin between each other to increase the volume, and any other type of news that we may have gotten, or any other coins that have been pushed, launched and then pushed into Bitcoin simply to, raise its price even further. Something is definitely going on. They say where there's smoke, there's fire. I don't know if we'll ever get any type of resolution to the Tether issue. It's been going on for quite some time. A lot of the audits have failed. They will not allow people to audit them. They say that they have the money to actually back all of this up. But it's clear that something is going on, and it's still my firm belief that they're probably just going to continue printing more Tether, and this will potentially be the beginning of the next bull run, as we have 8 stable coins at once. I'm pretty sure they're all going to be buying Bitcoin, and this will help to prop up the price even further. Like I said, it's not FUD. It's something that's actually real, something that's actually going on. Something is wrong with the price of Bitcoin. We may have all noticed that over the last couple of months, and it's, it's something that has to be spoken about. We can't stay in the dark about it forever. Next up, Walton Chain is in the news. This is not a coin that we ever hear about. Mo Bing, who is the CEO of Walton Chain, said he thinks that Walton Chain will be the Qualcomm and Cisco in the blockchain industry. He said, based on this, Walton Chain will become the Google search engine of blockchain. In a statement released on the altcoin's Medium page, which disclosed an interview with the CEO, Bing said Walton Chain is quite different from the early blockchain-based projects because of Stark. He said quite a number of child chains have been incorporated into Walton Chain's ecosystem, among which garment production, I'm sorry, this is really poorly written, collectible trading and logistics management are included, making him regard the altcoin as a super ship of the future ready to set sail. Expressing excitement and surprise over the state of Walton Chain, Bing stated that the cryptocurrency development of the Internet of Things has been so rapid. He said, to be honest, I didn't expect it to grow so fast. I think our entire team is quite fortunate. Within this space of data, the combustion of Internet of Things and blockchain is seen as an important thing for keeping and utilizing data, even though it costs additional fees. Bing, in his own opinion, believes this cost is not as important as efficiency and effectiveness of data usage. Therefore, blockchain is important in a shared society through technology. This makes Walton Chain a unicorn in the blockchain industry. The statement added that if Walton Chain is able to achieve Qualcomm and Cisco stage, it will be indispensable in the big data industry, making it a huge blockchain database. He said, based on our understanding of this huge database, we can easily make a Google search engine on blockchain. I'm just going to say, we don't ever hear about Walton Chain. It's nice to see that they're optimistic about their project. Let's see exactly, if they're able to do that. I, for one, think, I would say, I could see a Google type thing being built on like EOS or Ethereum or some other platform. But like I said, every coin is going to have their own usage. Not every coin is going to be used as a store value, as digital gold, as, their own, whatever you want to call it. Every single coin has its own purpose. So this could indeed be the reason for Walton Chain. We don't really hear a lot about them, but I assume that they're going to try and be in the news a bit more in order to get a bit more attention on to their project. Next up, Anton Rosenberg, a former director of special projects at Telegram, announced a new blockchain trading platform on Tuesday. Mikado, which is a crypto derivatives trading platform, will provide a solution for projects planning an ICO, but which want to avoid the price collapse that occurs when a open sale begins and early investors drop their tokens. I've said this before. A lot of people, when they launch ICOs, the price immediately shoots up because of interest, and then the moment the tokens are actually released to the public, everyone dumps them and then the price collapses into dust. And then you have to literally wait and see to see if the project will actually come back forward again. This has happened to countless numbers of ICOs. They think that when they create an ICO that everyone's going to love it. What ends up happening is people end up dumping it and transferring it into any other coin of their choice. Rosenberg told CoinDesk that many companies who are doing ICOs are trying to get investors' attention by big bonuses and discounts without an understanding how it will affect the price after the ICO. Unlike traditional finance markets where underwriters and market makers are helping companies to structure their ICOs, markets don't have institutions and mechanisms to plan a gradual release of liquid tokens. So Mikado will do this job instead, Rosenberg said. Mikado is going to issue a derivative for any token that are locked up, such as bonus tokens for early investors or tokens that are distributed among the project's employees to stimulate their work. The project can transfer these locked tokens to a specifically created escrow account, and investors will receive derivative Mikado tokens, or MKT, instead, which can be sold. After the lockup period is over, the MKT tokens will be burnt and their holders will receive equivalent amounts of the original tokens they invested in. Locking up coins is a convenient tool, but not very efficient, Rosenberg said. They can plan several lockup periods, gradually release their tokens, and control the trading volume. Mikado is promising a tool to create a stable, commodity-based economy on the crypto market. When I talk about coins having a purpose or needing a purpose, this is a coin that actually has a purpose. This isn't one that is looking to be the world currency or looking to, do this or do that. This is actually something that is going to probably come in handy, especially if this actually ends up taking off. There's I don't want to say huge issue. A lot of ICOs are actually frauds. That's just, clear at the moment, but a lot of them do have a big problem. Like I said, even when EOS was, when EOS started their ICO, whatever it was, I think the price was $5 and then it dropped to around like 49 cents within a couple of days because everyone started dumping their tokens. This happens to every single project. So being able to control this and having like I think it's genius, and I think this is actually a proper use case for blockchain and to actually have a token, that actually has to do something and actually has a purpose on the project. So let's see if this ends up launching in the near future and how successful it will be. Next up, India is in the news. This is actually quite interesting, and we should have all seen this coming. The Indian government is reportedly not in favor of banning cryptocurrencies, news sources claimed on June 13th. Citing local financial company Cogenix, local news media outlet Economic Times said a dedicated panel studying cryptocurrency may suggest allowing cryptocurrency, but with undisclosed riders or provisos about its usage. If true, the perspective puts the government increasingly at odds with India's central bank, which in April demanded banks halt interaction with cryptocurrency entities. Those affected will challenge that decision at the Supreme Court on July 20th, while the Reserve Bank of India, or the RBI, has faced mounting criticism over its stance, which many parties claim was a knee-jerk reaction to perceived threats. The RBI specifically mentions that it conducted no research or consultation before the implementation of restriction in April. Economic Times quotes local lawyer Varun Sethi as saying about the bank's justification after he filed a right to information request. He said, the RBI also responded that no committee was ever formed for analyzing the concept of blockchain before the decision. India has continued to agonize over how to treat Bitcoin this year, with politicians mentioning of regulation snowballing into claims the country would instigate a full ban. No official sources have mentioned banning cryptocurrency, the concept appearing as a result of mainstream press coverage and social media rumors. But what is interesting is that they decided to restrict it without looking into it. Like I said, so many countries are doing this and is going to cause a huge issue for them in the future. This is why I think that the actual lawsuit is actually going to trial. Where is it? On July 20th. Because put simply, countries that don't integrate these coins or find a way to make laws not even favorable to them, just to have it so that you can actually use these in their countries, they're going to fall behind. And when you ban or say that you're going to ban or try to stop something, or your central bank says you should stop something simply because they are afraid of it, this is going to be a huge no-no in the future. But like, I don't control that country. I'm not in that country. Let's hope that they actually get it together. But like I said, I am not surprised that there was no committee formed to actually look into what cryptocurrencies are. So many governments are just afraid, and they think that it's some type of, I mean, it is a new age fad, you know, for what it's worth. It is relatively new age, but it's good that, not good that lawsuits are happening, but I want governments to be forced to look into it so they see exactly what they are banning or trying to get away from so that they can understand it a bit more. Next up, Coinbase is in the news, and this is slightly significant, and I will tell you why. Coinbase is now allowing accredited investors with deeper pockets to the ability to utilize the Coinbase Index Fund, which offers exposure to every asset listed on the popular exchange. The previously announced Coinbase Index Fund has officially opened for investors who have $250,000 to $20 million. Ruben Barmatan, who is the product leader of Coinbase Asset Management, said in an official statement, "We've seen overwhelming interest from investors since we announced the fund earlier this year. At this stage, we have opened the fund to those who wish to invest $250,000 to $200 million. The fund is geared towards institutional investors and those with a lot of money to invest, and offers investors exposure to each and every asset listed on Coinbase's exchange. The cryptocurrencies are weighted by market cap, which aims to ensure effective diversification in the event one particular cryptocurrency underperforms. The Coinbase Index Fund will also include Ethereum Classic after the announcement earlier this week that the popular San Francisco-based cryptocurrency company would begin supporting the cryptocurrency in the coming months." I'm going to go out on a limb and say that many people who are watching and are listening don't have $250,000 to $20 million to throw into cryptocurrencies. That's not why I decided to report on this. It's more so that this is when we have talk about institutional investors getting into the space. This is supposed to be the first cog in the wheel of the entire movement forward for institutional investors. Everything that has been noted about institutional investors getting into the space was noted around January, February, March, and all of them said that they would start releasing their products in June and July. And this is where we are right now. So this is the more or less the first official thing that has come forward, that has opened itself up for, you know, the richest of the rich. Let's see if this does anything to the price, exactly where this leads us, or if, because Coinbase is still trying to market themselves as like a household name when it comes to cryptocurrencies, which they kind of are, won't lie. But like I said, let's see if this ends up doing something, because this is supposed to be when everyone else, the time of year, at least, that's been quoted to all of us many times as to when institutional investors will eventually start to come in, especially since this has launched right now. Last up, the SEC ICO coin argument is in the news once again. The SEC held a public forum yesterday on June 13th called Investing in America, Atlanta Town Hall Meeting. The town hall was highly anticipated because regulators planned on speaking about cryptocurrency regulations and innovation. The session was open to the public and streamed live on the SEC website. The discussions reaffirmed that the agency wants to welcome innovation with blockchain technology, but is also extremely cautious towards fraud, especially as it relates to retail or individual investors. The stance on ICOs was also the same, that they are securities, though no token or coin was mentioned by name, which is what everybody was waiting for, and he knew this. They know exactly what we're waiting for, but I guess we have double confirmation that all ICOs are still securities. Speakers set a general tone that nearly all investment types outside of cryptocurrency are increasing in complexity and technological advances, and the agency is improving their own data and technology to keep up and improve security. Kara Stein, who is the commissioner of the SEC, said, "Cryptocurrency has the potential to reduce the cost of investing. It could decrease the cost of capital allocation. We are being challenged. We are being disrupted like everybody else. And one of the things we're thinking about is how to embrace the innovation and make sure it's used effectively. One thing we are thinking, though, is how to ideally anticipate and prevent problems before they arise. Continuing on, I think remaining competitive requires both us as regulators and market participants to thoughtfully evolve with the innovation and not react to it after the fact, she said. For example, there are increased risks for pump and dumps and Ponzi schemes, perhaps because it is so easy to now invest in that hotel resort community in some African nation. That's a little racist. So this was anticipated. A lot of people thought we'd have some type of clarity, but we know the SEC better than that. Who knows when they're going to give us any type of information? But this was definitely in the news. This was one of the main headlines. A lot of people were actually watching this, hoping to see if they gave any type of inkling as to the names of certain coins and what they may be so that the market can move forward. But the SEC just isn't that nice. Alrighty, everyone. That is going to do it for this video. A lot of random news. Still not too bad. We've had worse days. Let's see exactly where the market ends up going. It's not as bad as it was. I want to say a couple of hours ago, Bitcoin was at 6,100. It was very close to hitting 6,000. Propped itself back up. Who knows what's going on? Hope you guys all have a great day. Hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you once again for all of the support, and I will talk to you all soon. See you.